Fever, no. But also, let's take a moment for KK, okay? Choose that moment today. She's that girl always. Thank you. Don't cheat. Let the light get the nice little dog.
Chicago hyped it up as their biggest game of the year. Barbie Night at the United Center. Pink everywhere, Angel Reese as the face of the event. But there was one huge problem. Angel Reese didn't even suit up. And what happened next? The Indiana Fever crashed the party and turned it into Fever Night, dropping a 93-78 beatdown without even having Caitlin Clark on the court.
The Indiana Fever walk in to Chicago, the United Center, no Caitlin Clark, and they walk out with a W, 93-78.
Kelsey Mitchell went full superstar mode with 35 points, proving Indiana isn't just Caitlin Clark and 4 other players. This is a complete team built to dominate. Even on the bench, Clark stole the spotlight, signing over 200 autographs, winning over Chicago fans, while her teammates silenced the so-called rivalry narrative for good. If you're tired of the media pretending this is some Clark versus Reese rivalry, comment no rivalry below, because after this game, it's not even close.
Let's go. Yep. Gotta be able to sit. The really good thing about having quality depth is when you don't have it, somebody else does. And KK? Yeah! Way to step up. Chloe, great job coming in. Yeah. Good job. Lex, way to come in and make an impact. Kels, just
The media loves this storyline. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, Iowa versus LSU Rookie of the Year race, Indiana versus Chicago. They sell it like it's the new Magic versus Bird. Every matchup gets hyped like a heavyweight fight. Every game framed as must-see TV, but here's the reality nobody wants to admit. It's not a rivalry, not on the scoreboard, not on the stat sheet, not even close. The Fever have now beaten the Sky 6 times in their last 7 meetings, including 3 straight this season alone. They've outscored Chicago by 77 points in those 3 games. That's not a rivalry, that's dominance. And this Barbie Night disaster, it exposed the truth.
This is absolutely a one-sided rivalry. And we've got to say it like it is. Like, we can't say Caitlin needs to do this, Caitlin needs to do that. Let's be real. The only reason this is still a rivalry is because the other side of the rivalry won't stop it. And by the way, it is extremely beneficial for Angel Reese to be in this rivalry.
Indiana didn't even need Caitlin Clark to walk into Chicago's premium arena and embarrass them on their biggest promotional night of the year. Barbie Night was supposed to be Chicago's moment. The Sky moved the game to the United Center, their biggest venue, decorated it in pink, and marketed it around Angel Reese as the star attraction. Fans came expecting to see a statement win, a rivalry game with playoff energy, but before tip-off, the bad news dropped. Angel Reese wouldn't even play, and that's when the pressure shifted completely. Because without their star on the floor, Chicago needed to prove they could still rise to the occasion. Instead, they fell apart.
This is a fake one-sided rivalry. We got Angel Reese taking more shots at Caitlin Clark unnecessarily.
From the opening tip, Indiana set the tone. Kelsey Mitchell attacked relentlessly. Michaela Timpson's defense locked up the perimeter, and Aaliyah Boston dominated the paint. By halftime, the Fever had already silenced the crowd, flipping the script from Barbie Night to what fans online were calling Fever Night. The real sting: Caitlin Clark wasn't even playing. She sat in street clothes, signing over 200 autographs, still commanding the biggest cheers in the building, while her teammates delivered a statement win. Chicago's promotional night, their big stage, turned into a complete embarrassment, and the so-called rivalry hype, it started to feel like a running joke. This game officially became the Kelsey Mitchell show.
Money Mitch put him in a ditch, and Michaela Timpson treating the Chicago Sky like a bunch of Simpsons. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Kelsey Money Mitchell erupted today. Michaela Timpson continues to show every time you put her in the game, every time you give her some actual quality minutes, she will not disappoint.
With Caitlin Clark on the bench, Mitchell knew she had to carry the scoring load, and she delivered one of the best performances of her career. She dropped a season-high 35 points, shooting an insane 12 for 19 from the field, and a ridiculous 7 for 10 from three-point range. That's 70% from deep on a night when Chicago threw everything at her defensively. Mitchell wasn't just scoring, she was making history. She joined Caitlin Clark as only the second player in Fever history to record 35-plus points, 5-plus assists, and 5-plus three-pointers in a single game. And she did it in Chicago's house on Chicago's night, in front of fans who showed up expecting to see Angel Reese shine. Instead, they got Kelsey Mitchell turning their big event into her own personal highlight reel.
On 6 of 10 shooting in the corner, Mitchell connects on a 3. Indiana needed that. It's a 2-point game. There's a chance that gets changed to a 3. Mitchell looking to respond, and does! Things tightening at United Center. Mitchell has it deflected, gets it back, and hits from 3.
Social media went wild. Rename it Mitchell Night, one fan tweeted. This isn't a rivalry, it's target practice for Indiana, another posted. Clips of Mitchell draining 3 after 3 blew up on TikTok and Twitter, turning a promotional night for Chicago into a viral celebration for Indiana. Even the Sky's home crowd started cheering some of her shots. That's how electric she was.
Indiana run after Chicago had cut it to 2. Poked away by Timpson. There's the deflection. Off to the races. Timpson finishes strong, forcing a timeout from Chicago. A 9-0 Indiana run, and the lead is back to 11.
Michaela Timpson, the rookie, all season long, when she's gotten minutes here and there, has made the most of them. We've seen it on the offensive end. Then here, just getting her arms in the passing lane, the deflection, finishing a tough look.
What made this win special wasn't just Kelsey Mitchell's 35-point explosion, it was how the entire Fever roster stepped up and proved they're way more than just Caitlin Clark and 4 role players. Michaela Timpson played the game of her young career, dropping 14 points on 6 of 8 shooting, including key defensive stops that killed Chicago's momentum. Chloe B.E., signed to a 7-day contract just days earlier, came off the bench and hit 2 clutch threes, instantly stretching the floor and giving Indiana a huge boost. Aaliyah Boston quietly put up her 3rd straight double-double with 14 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks, and 2 steals, impacting every part of the game, and Lexi Hull kept momentum alive with timely buckets that shut down any Sky comeback attempt. Even with their superstar sidelined, Indiana looked like the deeper, more prepared, and more dangerous team. Coach Stephanie White praised her bench post game, saying, "This team is built on trust and depth. We have players who stay ready, and nights like this prove why it matters."
How have you seen her improve and become more comfortable throughout this season?
She's amazing. One of the best rookies I think I've ever come across of. She's I don't know how to say it, like the ultimate pro. Shows up, no problems, nothing. When you have locker room culture happening, you need great people to make it greater, and I think we got a good addition here, so shout out to KK.
This wasn't Caitlin Clark carrying the franchise, this was a complete team making a statement. We can win anywhere, under any spotlight, against any team. And the most poetic part? While Chicago threw a party celebrating a rivalry that doesn't exist, Indiana walked into their premium arena and owned it from start to finish, proving that their culture and chemistry are the real story this season.
500 points, becoming fastest Fever player ever to do so in a season.
Nice!
930 point game, second most in Fever history. And season high.
I knew it!
KK career high in points.
Yeah, baby, run.
AB 11 double-double of the season.
Yeah.
This game didn't just pad Indiana's win column, it shifted the entire conversation about these two franchises. For Chicago, the Barbie Night hype was supposed to be a turning point, a chance to prove they belong in the same breath as Indiana. Instead, it exposed the gap. The Sky aren't just losing, they're losing big. They've now dropped 6 of their last 7 to the Fever, and after this latest 15-point blowout, their playoff hopes are basically gone. For Indiana, it's the opposite. They're now 14-12, sitting 3rd in the Eastern Conference and closing in on Atlanta for 2nd. They've learned to win without Caitlin Clark, developed trust in their depth, and built confidence heading into the playoff push. And let's not ignore what this means for the so-called Clark versus Reese rivalry. The media loves the story because it sells two young stars, different personalities, polarizing fan bases, but games like this prove the truth. There is no rivalry when one team owns the other.
Let's check this out right here. Of course, this is supposed to be the arena that Angel Reese built, right? Question mark? Caitlin Clark right here signing autographs. Look at these fans. Are you kidding me? I mean, seriously. This person over here, show us Barbie. Yeah, not lined up for Barbie. In Barbie's own arena. Glad to see Chicago giving Barbie a welcome to Sophie Cunningham.
The Fever are building something sustainable, a roster that wins when their star sits, a culture built on depth and development, and a fan base that travels so well it sometimes outnumbers the home crowd. Chicago, meanwhile, keeps betting on big promotions and hype nights, only to watch Indiana turn them into statement games. The message was clear. This isn't hype anymore, it's hierarchy. If the scoreboard didn't make it clear, social media definitely did.
I'm beginning to suspect the Indiana Fever are a better team than the Chicago Sky. Don't ask me why I believe that or think that. It's just a sneaking suspicion that I have. I mean, it could be the fact that the Fever spank them every time they play. Could be that. Maybe it's that. I mean, you know, you can date back to last year, but this year, the Fever spanked the Sky in the season opener.
What started as Chicago's Barbie Night quickly got rebranded online as Fever Night, and the memes came fast. On Twitter, fans posted side-by-side photos of Chicago's pink decorations with captions like, "All this for Kelsey Mitchell's career night." TikTok clips went viral showing empty pink seats in the fourth quarter as Fever fans took over chants inside the United Center. One Instagram post simply said, "Sky spent thousands on decorations. Fever spent 40 minutes wrecking them." Even neutral WNBA fans joined in, calling out the media for selling a rivalry that doesn't exist. This isn't Clark versus Reese, it's Indiana versus everybody. The humiliation stung even more because Caitlin Clark didn't play a single minute, yet she still owned the spotlight. Videos of her signing over 200 autographs for Chicago fans spread everywhere, showing her star power is so big it doesn't even require a jersey.
It's here for Indiana. Now, one thing that we talked about the other day in New York, but you just have to appreciate about Caitlin Clark in these games, she knows a huge portion of these fans were hoping to see her play, and obviously they're not getting to. But she goes out of her way to make sure pregame she's signing autograph after autograph.
And then there's Angel Reese. She didn't suit up, but still found herself dragged into the conversation. Fans mocked Chicago's reliance on her presence with one post reading, "Imagine building a whole night around a player who isn't playing and then losing by 15. For the Sky, this wasn't just a loss, it was a PR nightmare. For the Fever, it was another step toward changing how people view their team. Not just Caitlin Clark and friends, but a legitimate, deep contender. This game wasn't just about one win, it was about what this team represents. Indiana didn't just show up and play hard, they walked into Chicago's biggest night of the season and proved something every Fever fan has been saying since day one: this team is for real. Even without Caitlin Clark on the court, the Fever are deep, balanced, and fearless. They have veterans like Kelsey Mitchell ready to drop 35 on the road, rookies like Michaela Timpson seizing their moment, and new signings like Chloe Beebe stepping up immediately. That's not luck, that's culture. For fans, this win felt different. It was more than just a road victory, it was proof that Indiana's rebuild is done and they're officially contenders. And seeing Clark on the sidelines or still signing over 200 autographs and showing love to fans, even in enemy territory, reminded everyone why this franchise is special. So here's the challenge for everyone watching. If you believe this rivalry hype is dead and the Fever are the real deal, comment Fever Nation down below. Show the league who's really building something for the future. Because after a night like this, it's not about pink decorations or fake rivalries. It's about the team that's actually winning. The Chicago Sky wanted a statement win on their biggest night of the year. Instead, the Indiana Fever gave them a 93-78 reality check, and they did it without Caitlin Clark even stepping on the court. Kelsey Mitchell's 35-point explosion, Michaela Timpson's career night, Chloe Beebe's instant impact, and Aaliyah Boston's double-double prove something big. This team isn't just Caitlin Clark, it's a roster built to win, with or without her. And while Chicago tried to celebrate their Barbie Night, fans left calling it Fever Night. because Indiana owned the moment from start to finish. This game sent a clear message: the fake rivalry hype is over. The Fever are here, and they're building something special. If you're part of Fever Nation, comment "We run this" down below, and show the league that you're riding with this team no matter what. And if you thought this game was wild, click the video on your screen now. We're breaking down why the league's obsession with this rivalry might actually be holding back the WNBA's future. You don't want to miss it.